Good evening, StreamYard and YouTube fans. And yes, I did think that I was finished with this message on who is my neighbor, but something came across my mind that said, "Nope, you're not done." Um, Recently, we had a new neighbor uh, come. I mean, kind of. We have a new neighbor next behind us, uh, and he's been here maybe like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, not very long. Uh, and this is kind of the real life example of the Good Samaritan story type thing. What happened is one day when I came home from work, I'm going getting ready to come into my apartment, and I noticed that uh, my neighbor's door was wide open, and I didn't see a key or anything like that, but my neighbor's door was wide open, and which begs the question, if you're living in an apartment like I do, and you see something strange or unusual like that, do you go in and check, or uh, find out what's going on, or and I'll tell you that what I did is I knocked on the door, and I didn't know what I was really what was happening or anything like that. Luckily, the new neighbor came out and said that you know uh, he went out to do something. I guess he got as far as his car, and he realized um, that he had forgotten something and had to come back in, and he wasn't going to be long or anything like that. So he had his door opened and was getting what he needed. But he thanked me for uh, checking to see that everything was okay. I could have very it could have I could have very well stumbled upon somebody trying to rob my neighbor for all I know. It's one of those things you never know, and and uh, it's like you never know, and that becomes the thing. Are you going to be a good neighbor and knock on that door and find out what's going on, or are you just going to walk on by and not say anything or not do anything? You know, uh, as Christians, when there's something unknown or whatever, you know, we should check into it and see if there's anything we can do, and kind of do our part in that. Just the same kind of thing when there's an emergency, and like a fire, or you see somebody's uh, car getting carjacked and stuff like that. Are you gonna call the police and do what's right, or not? Uh, and that's kind of the story of the Good Samaritan. And I want to reread this just so we have it in our minds. And behold, a certain lawyer stood up, and this is Luke 10:25 through 37. And behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tested him, saying, Teacher, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? He said to him, What is written in the law? What is your reading of it? So he answered and said, You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself. And he said to him, "You have answered rightly. Do this, and you will live." But he wanted to justify himself, and said to Jesus, "And who is my neighbor?" Then Jesus answered and said, "A certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell among thieves, who stripped him of his clothing, wounded him, and departed, leaving him half dead. Now by chance a certain priest came down that road, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. Likewise a Levite, when he arrived at the place, came, looked, and passed by on the other side. But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion. So he went to him and bandaged his wound, pouring on oil and wine, and he set him on his own animal, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. On the next day, when he departed, he took out 2 denarii, gave them to the innkeeper, and said to him, "Take care of him, and whatever more you spend, when I come again, I will repay you." So which of these three do you think was neighbor to him who fell among the thieves? And he said, "He who showed mercy on him." Then Jesus said to him, "Go and do likewise." And the thing is with what I said, it becomes, are you going to be like this priest and this Levite who turned and walked away and went in the other direction? Or are you going to step up, take action, and check out when you see a door that's open, whether somebody needs help or not? Or if you saw a car being carjacked, are you gonna call the police and say, "Hey, somebody's car got carjacked," and do what's right as far as giving descriptions and stuff like that? You know, these things are uh, kind of up to us, in that, and it comes down to, are you going to do your part or not? Are you going to be a Christian and stand up and do the right thing? And that's the thing. It's time for us to stand up and do the right thing. Stand up and adhere to the principles to the Bible. And that's kind of what I had in store for you tonight. Um, and you all take care and have a good evening. And God go with you and be with you. Take action when you need to. Have a good evening, guys.